I went to Lagos Island before to go and buy dress for my children for Christmas. I put on Iru and Buba, then the tie. I didn't tie it on my head. I tied the money there. These Yao Yao boys, we are going, me and my second. So they call her, come auntie, come and see Ankara. And that Ankara is this carton. They only use 1 yard to wrap the Ankara. But me, I've noticed it, she did not know. Then I now draw her, let's go, Jare. The guy saw me when I draw her. So the guy just faced me and draw that my tie. God so kind. The place I put money is in my side. The other side is drawing. There is no money there. So I drag the thing with him, because if he collect that money, my husband will do me shege when I show. So me too, on top of that Idumota bridge. Me too, I deal with him. He drag it, I drag it with him.
Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation. Over the years, successive administrations have introduced various transportation reforms to ease movement within the state. Under Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, we have seen ambitious projects like the Lagos Rail Mass Transit. You have the red and blue lines working in full capacity. You have the purple, green line and the brown, others still in the pipeline. We have the last mile buses, expansion of water transport, road infrastructure development. The governor commissioned a lot of roads in the last few months,
The last few days, weeks.
Yeah, weeks. But how much have this impacted the daily lives of Lagosians? Today we take a deep dive into the realities of commuting in Lagos with our guest, Omoba Adeyinka Oyediran. He is a social commentator and he'll be giving us his perspective on the effectiveness of the state's transportation system. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, madam.
Now, let me begin this way. What are the biggest transport challenges that faces the commuter in Lagos? And then when you look at these challenges and look at the initiatives of the state government, do you think that it is a solution?
Thank you very much. When you look at transportation, I think it's the bedrock of any good economy, whether you like it or not. To move human beings, to move the goods, either by road, by rail, intermodal, especially in the Lagos. When you look at Lagos State, when you look at the topography of Lagos State, majorly water. If you go to if you go to Italy, there's some area, a shant of what was this town? This states in Italy, Venice, where almost every area is water. Even to transport yourself to just to go and say hello to your neighbor, you go on your water taxi. Even if you come to Sierra Leone here, do you know that in Sierra Leone, very close to us here, they don't have a flattened land where they can make airport. They have to go across the Atlantic Ocean, across their sea, to another area they call Lungi, where it is barges that takes both human being and vehicle, across every 1 hour. So when we are supposed to take the good advantages of what our topography look like, whether we like it or not, for any economy to succeed, we need to invest massively. I repeat, massively into our transportation. Because even if my farmer, prepare their farm produce, if it is not transported, it gets spoiled.
Yeah.
The difference between how we enjoy fruit drinks in Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire is because of transportation. That's just the difference. You'll discover that in Cote d'Ivoire, almost every juice that you find on the table, sometimes you even find it written made in France. They are locally made there, produced in low quality, but they are discharged into various locations through their beautifully designed transport hubs. Look at the way we bring our own farm produce from the hinterland, from the kitchen, from whatever. Majority of them get spoiled. Go to at the back of my 12 there. Go to this market or Joe market. You see destruction of massive farm produce. So, in other words, every aspect of the economy needs the transportation, and Lagos has. They've tried a lot, because when you look at what it used to be in the past, we can only ask for more. You look at the rail transportation that they are doing. They've done well. We've seen first phase, we've seen second phase. The only thing is that in the other part of the world, things are moving smarter and faster. Than what they are now using is mostly electronic. That can imagine what the distance between China and New York. Look at the way it has been reduced to a very bad. So, I will put it this way, that Lagos State have done a lot, but they need to do more. They need to do more in the area of policy integration between the state and that of the federal, because of the federal interest in Lagos State here. When you look at our ports, it serves every part of Nigeria. So the federal government has interest there. When you look at the newly created deep sea port in Lekki, they call the place Lekki, even though it is Ibeju. When you look at the federal government interest there, they're supposed to work in peer pursuit. Again, there's a great difference between stakeholder and critical stakeholders.
What's the difference?
Yes, some stakeholders, they just hear that, look, the government is creating this avenue, a business environment where they can make their money. It is not that the natural interest is there. It is just about a businessman. But you see, a critical stakeholders like the operators, like the association, like NATO, who has invested so much in the trucking business. Let me tell you, are you aware? NUPENG is an arm of NATO. So a federated association like that, federal government, state government, aside whatever the federal government is doing with them, the state government, because of the opportunity that it's going to give to the state, need to sit down with other privately owned logistic companies. What are your challenges? Let us come together. Let us reason together. Build relationship together. Again, when you build that relationship together, you have to back it up with a policy that is backed up with a very good legal frame that will give confidence to them that if they invest in such a thing for a long period of time, their money will come back. Not that a governor will come next tomorrow and change the whole thing. So the fear of investing on a long-term relationship with government is not there. And that's why everybody wants to do quick business.
Okay. Well, you've talked, about the state still needing to invest, massively in the transportation sector. The Lagos State Metropolitan Area Transport Authority has, has played a key role with the BRT, with the Red Line and the Blue Line, Blue Rail, and all that. What more, still needs to be done? Do you think? And again, do you think the population of Lagos is also a factor?
I agree with you. The last one you mentioned, the population. I do tell people that virtually every community in Nigeria has a representative in Lagos. Lagos. Hardly you find a family who doesn't have a relation in Lagos. In terms of population, in terms of the way they comes in, you know, on a daily basis, both night and day, Lagos State has that challenge. Maybe because it's a former federal capital territory. 1, 2, proximity to business, economic nerves. I have mentioned it times with that number. When you ask Committee of State, those who borrow, those who give money to countries, you know, as loan or whatever, do you know that they rate Lagos State more than Nigeria itself? Because the ability to pay back, if we manage very well, we'll do that. That is 1. 2, when all those areas that you mentioned, that Lagos State has invested, yes, I give them kudo. That you are talking about movement of human beings. You discover that what they have done so far has reduced the volume of people that comes from Okoko, sometimes from Okoko to Maitu. You might spend 4 or 5 hours in getting people. In those days, you remember the Jakonde time when they did Baba Kekere Itafaji from Maitu. That was what they're able to do. So that time, the successive government have invested so much in that. But this is moving human beings. Talk about moving goods. You understand me? Both finished goods and the loads. I'm talking about the imports. Those who are manufacturing in the north, they rely on Lagos Road to transport whatever they imported. You understand me? To go and manufacture in either east or whatever. It is the same Lagos. And when they finish over there, they are coming to Lagos. So in other words, trucking, when you talk about those heavy loads, those heavy trucks that brings in, you know, finished goods from the interland, and also imported finished goods. You understand me? Including Tokumbo vehicles and whatever. You still need like this Lagos road before you now burst out into other areas. So we need to look critically into that. If you are moving human being, what about the goods? So they have done so much. I am happy for Lagos State. One of us, you know, one of our own, Dr. Okwefa, had been put in charge of NRC. Fine. And he is somebody that has run Ministry of Transport in the past. Yes. He is somebody that is sound upstairs. He is somebody that knows, you know, Liberia man say kuku jumuku. You know inside, you don't know. No. If you are not part of his system, you cannot operate there effectively. He is part of this system. He's been part of this system. He's from here. So he understands. So we should expect most, especially in the recent days, I learned he has started discussion with Lamata. He has started thinking of revitalizing the rail system. Maybe this one will now culminate into establishment of dry ports, whatever, where you can move large volume of container into that. Because if you don't decongest the port, you know, in a voluminous manner, you are creating more problem. Because as you are, look at Lekki Deep Sea Port, since they established, I'm sure they have not performed more than 25% of the original capacity. And they still want to, as an investor that have put so much money there, they want to recoup their money back by increasing, you know, their activities. How would this now culminate into gain for them? Are we talking about infrastructure redevelopment or redesigning? Because for them to do well, you have to increase our road infrastructure, which made me or my organization to discuss with the Ministry of Transport. There's a way out to it. Let us think about, imagine having a conveyor belt. We call it rail line. In some cases, we call it conveyor belt. It's the same thing we did in Monrovia, Liberia, conveying the rubber product from rubber plantation, the Firestone rubber plantation, at the border of Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire, right into the port of Monrovia. And hardly you know what is that. I think on the road it's about 33 miles. Let me tell you, between Lekki Deep Sea Port and Ekpe, if you take a rail line behind the water there, it will take you more than 38 kilometers. And we can move at least 1,000 containers out of that place, rather than thinking of the what some people invested in, which they are now complaining. I told them, when they are investing in trailer park in Lekki, deep sea pond. How do you achieve that? Did you study the soil there? It's a marshy, waterlogged, swampy land. Again, it's a very small portion of land. It's a landlocked. Atlantic Ocean on your right-hand side, Lekki Lagoon on the left-hand side. Majority of them have been taken over by, have been used by free trade zone. So even the remaining there is not strong enough to carry heavy load.
Okay, talking about heavy load now, you know, Lagos State experienced some kind of accidents recently on this Otedola Bridge, and it has to do with this articulated vehicles, you know, moving products in and out of the state. And the one that happened, you know, just last week is not the first, it's not the second time. How can that be, you know, reduced? Or
I'll tell you the simple solution to that. May I use this opportunity to beg Lagos State government? Stop thinking that whatever you are doing, that has to stop this kind of accident, that the road safety, federal road safety, has much to do on such. They don't have much. They are supposed to be on the road, on the main road, checking either the speed limits when you are. But the real solution provider is what the Lagos State government has established many years ago, the VIO. I mean, the VIS vehicle inspection.
Does it apply to these articulated vehicles?
You said what?
I said, does it apply to these articulated vehicles?
Oh yes, they are the one. Let me tell you first and foremost, they are the one that has the capability to check the size of, I mean, the structure, the nature of whatever you call the container at the back, and the capability of the engine of the trailer itself, the axle, whether it is flattened enough to accommodate what is happening. Most of the time, people just go to some country, they say they are bringing trailer into, or trucks into the country. They don't look at the size, the weight, I mean, the size of the
capacity.
The capacity of either the flatbed or the container in relation to the engine. Majority of them were not built like that. Somebody just bought the head and saw the body somewhere and pushed it up together. Who certified that it can walk, it can move on that road? And by the time who checks it? Does federal road safety has a training ground where they can check trailer? You understand me? Meanwhile, Lagos State established a VIS location. There's a location where they check, they train the driver on how to maneuver. You understand me? They need a space of time, like they have one in Lekki, they have one in Ekpe, they have in Ikorodu, and Lagos State government invested so much in all the equipment that can test this vehicles and certify them. VIS is the only organization that can certify and issue license to you. What do you call it? Road safety cannot issue a license or a certificate upon a vehicle that, look, this vehicle is in good order. They don't have.
That's the MOT.
The first, yes, MOT, the VIS. Let me tell you, Suma, the first accident you are talking about, the first one that claimed so many lives. Go and read the report. There was a sharp difference between the capacity of the engine in relation to the flatbed at the back. So when it gets to either a slope area in Marsh's brake, the load will sway even the body in front. The axle will break and it throw. And that most of the time, that is the cause of the accident. By the time the report of this newly, the recently occurred one happens, you come and see what I'm talking about. So nobody who is checking, it is only VIS. Let me tell you, your driver's license. Road safety only captures information. It is VIS that has the residual power to sign that either you are justified to drive on the road. Do you know there are so many drivers of trucks in Lagos State or in Nigeria that uses Class B or Class C? Meanwhile, they're supposed to use G or E. Who is checking that? It is VIS. So it is high time we resuscitate, the capability or bring about the capability of let them do the right thing. They are the one that can check. They are the one that can certify. They are the one that have all these long range environment where the driver can be tested whether he can maneuver very well. And Lagos State has invested in so much equipment. What do you call lagvis? You see some vehicles, they will put lagvis. It means that they have certified those road safety hazards. Do they have a training environment that they can do that? Lagos State invested in Ladrive, where you can. The day I got there, I saw standard brand new engine, trailer engine, that a truck driver can be tested upon, and they have all the environment that is conducive, and they have expertise. But lying down fallow there, because we are not we need to coerce them, to ask them to go and do that. Then again, we don't have enough labor in Lagos State here. When vehicle has issue, they where to park. That's why you're having congestion. And again, our policies of this electronic, those, they are too slow for the volume of business that are there. Then again, I talk about policy. The policy that is being run on our land in Lagos here by Lekki District Port is as if we are in a foreign land. Aside having your license as a custom license agent, when you get there, you have to obtain another license in dollars. Majority of the operators there are either the investors themselves or allied organizations that are ready to recoup their money at all costs. Thereby, a lot of people are running away from to go and do business there. So that's why I say in reintegration of policy between the federal government, the state government, the Lagos state government. If this is our land, we should be able to dictate. We are not in China. Operation there is like when you travel to China and you are a foreigner, you want to trade there. Majority of our people cannot work there. And that is why you have a lot. And by the time you import your goods and there is so much delay, then you want to cut corner. Then truck drivers will not want to stay in a park, lying down fallow there, waiting for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before when your owners are expecting you to bring proceed from source. So we still need to. That's why I started with stakeholders and critical stakeholders. Not business persons that just say, we should establish a trade plan. They rush that because of the money. Because of the volume of money, because of the nature of that, to create a trailer partner, it costs so much more than if it has been in another environment. So they want to enable to recoup their money. This government policy that they'll be afraid that if we put in so much money, if we don't recoup it within a year or two, if another governor comes, maybe policy might change. This is not what we want. A situation where the federal government and the state government will invest massively, as if they are even subsidizing and giving people the opportunity to invest there and backing it up with a very good legal framework. You know? All right. So we have a lot to do.
We have.
Okay, you have spoken about the VIS. Let's also talk about the last mile officials also in assessing how well they are carrying out their activities.
It's simple. Those are the last mile. You see, there is difference between pro and pre. It affects also our security system in Nigeria. We were trained to handle pre rather than pro. In Nigeria here, we do more of pro. When an armed robber strikes here, 4 days later, the commissioner of police gives instruction. Make sure you get those armed robbers. Are the armed robbers staying by the roadside or getting a phone to sleep there? The same way when you are talking about our transportation system, we have spent so much money on the management of traffic. We should think of pre. What is pre? Preparing them before they get onto the road, which is the job of VIS. Are this vehicle good enough to go into that axis? If they have been checked somewhere around Ekpe, you understand me? If you are not fit, if your vehicle is not fit, and you are cautioned that you must not carry a load that is more than the capacity of that vehicle, vis-a-vis the flatbed or the container in relation with the engine, then you don't have any issue to go and do at the port corridor. If you are not there, you won't cause embarrassment, you won't cause any congestion there, or your motor had accident, or your motor had issues, you are parking on the road. It is simply because we are looking at when the crime is committed, let us apprehend them and bring money to the cover of government. No, that is not the solution. The solution should be, let us do let us make sure that we certify a vehicle that's in a good condition. It's signed on undertaking that is not this your capacity does not go beyond 30 tons. Okay, your vehicle is 30 tons. You must not carry 30 tons. You must not carry more than 20 to give some room for any emergency. You understand me? So your brake system is in good order. Your axle is in good order. What about the driver? How many drivers have you seen wearing glasses? Are you telling me that they don't? None of them has eye issues. But they are not. Nobody is testing them to certify them that they are good enough. When you bring Malams to come and drive in Lagos State, and the barrier you are having, you have all the instructions there written in English. And they will tell you, Batureshi, it's Oralani. They drive where they passed yesterday, they just want to say me similar and go there. That's why all our barriers have been broken. Instead of us to do pictorial representation of what you are trying to say, don't cross this, don't cross that, then do a kind of orientation to them. Make sure they go to Ladri, then make sure they are satisfied by Ladri before they drive in Lagos State. Can you use Nigerian driver's license to go and drive in UK? No. You have to be so all this has to be put into place.
Okay, talking about
so LASTMA is designed to apprehend or control. You know, right? Don't before we do that, let us first of all check, are they fit to be on that axis? If they are not, ban them at Bega, let them stay there. Ban them at Ekpa or Ijebu, don't enter Lagos if you are not certified.
Okay, let's look
at reduce accidents.
And the role of commercial buses, I mean, not the BRT now the yellow buses, Kurupe and all of that. Do you think that the state government should continue with that in order to have a mega city, or there should be a way that they can now remodify these buses to fit the proposed mega city?
Those drivers can never fit into the mega city. The reason is simple. You ban the Okada driver.
They go and pick up.
It is the same driver that has gone to pick
the Korope. And the Marwa.
The orientation is still same. The blood system is still same.
Are you looking at the total overhaul?
It is and you should find what you can do. For instance, you can turn all of them, remove their glasses, like Korope, remove all the glasses, panabit it into a box, let them go and be assisting Loma to bring waste from the interior, from the estate, and come and drop it, wherever you want them. Can you even debate? But let me tell you, you've been to Berlin. Rail system is like the way you have Korope here, and they move people massively. So we need a complete overall. You see, by the time you take their Okada, and they are still here, not doing much. And they have to eat. So it is this same set of people that are driving the bike that transform to Korope driver that are including Marwa. You need orientation, a complete. Is that you stipulate? Is either you go through this orientation and sign on that taking that you can. Then you can now change the system from that angle. If you change their equipment, like from Okada to Korope or to anything, give them a plane to fly. It is this same system that they have that they go to. They will fight in the air if you allow them.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you very much, Omobade Yinka Oyediran, for sharing such valuable insights with us today. It is clear that, while Lagos has made significant strides, more needs to be done. Omobade Yinka Oyediran, social commentator, thank you for coming. We've been talking about effective transportation system in Lagos. We'll be right back after this short break. Always need to do more. Always need to do more.